Well, dang, that looks scary. And here we have, boom, our damaged area. What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode from Backyard Boys. We're officially done with the quarter panel for now, and we're going to be moving on to the front end of this GTR. If you guys are following along with the videos I have posted about this car, part 6, part 5, you guys know exactly what is going on with the vehicle and why I am so excited to start working on this front end. Before we start off this episode, be sure to smash that subscribe button down below. Show your support by pressing that like button. Don't forget to follow my Instagram at BYBTim and cop yourself some merch if you guys want to rock some merch. I just grabbed my thing as if I'm wearing merch, but I'm not. This is some Carhartt stuff. It's nice and warm. It is really cold out here. That's why I'm wearing this. I usually rock my merch. But guys, before we start off with this front end, I wanted to explain a couple of things and just tell you guys the order of operation, what the heck is going to be going on. So first things first, we're going to tear apart this front end. That's the first thing we're going to do. And the frame rail and everything is nice and straight. We're going to go ahead and measure it just to double check that everything is straight. The real problem that we're having here is this apron. So this apron here took a very nice hit that we did not see on the auction, where we thought the damage was from the top down like this, where we thought this carbon composite would just smash up and it would just be kind of more of a little damage here, but we didn't realize that the damage went so far and deep like this and buckled this apron here, destroyed this thing here, broke this carbon strut bar, or strut, whatever, it's not a strut bar, it's carbon, some brace over here, broke it, gave us some firewall damage down here, and basically destroyed all of our suspension assembly, which I have already replaced in part 2, I think, of this build series. So right now what we're gonna do is actually tear apart the front end, like I just said, and start giving this apron a good yank. Although we gotta be very, very careful because this strut tower is aluminum, meaning that we can't over pull it, or we gotta be very careful with it. We gotta pull it properly, and we gotta do it in one nice pull. So while I'm pulling, I'm going to be measuring diagonal, making sure this front end is a full on square, and then I'm going to be measuring this shock tower as well. That way it passes alignment and everything goes good. Once we get everything disassembled, I'm going to take a further inspection, make sure nothing is no seam seal cracked, no shock tower is cracked or anything like that, because if it is cracked, that's going to be very, very crappy. That's not going to be a good case. But I honestly don't think that this strut tower moved that much to a point where it'd be sketchy moving it back if it did move at all. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and give this a pull and see what the heck is going on and how all this stuff is gonna pull out. But first things first, we gotta strap the car down because it's literally gonna move. We got some chains, we got some clamps to the bottom of the car. What I think I'm gonna do, since this thing has a nice juicy subframe in the back and it has nice areas to clamp on in the rear, what I'm gonna probably do is clamp the car side to side and then maybe 2 chains back, because we're going to be doing most of our pulling forward. So let's get that car chain down first, get our strong, powerful star rack arm here, and give this a good yank, see what it does. Very excited. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, so I was actually trying to pull this radiator support off without taking off the radiators, but it seems like we have to pull everything off. So we went ahead and sucked out all of the Freon. We went ahead and popped those off, which were these very annoying connectors actually. They don't work that great, and they have like these things that actually pull them off. So basically what you do is push that inside there, moves the spring, and it pops off, which really didn't work that great. So we ended up using these here. We kind of got in there, moved the spring into where it needs to be. That way it would work around this piece, which this system is kind of dumb. It would have been much easier if it just had a bolt, like a regular, I guess, more typical car. I don't know. You see this like on cheaper cars. The more expensive cars have a regular bolt, a Nissan at the end of the day. But we're not gonna talk about that right now. What we're gonna do is actually drain all the radiator fluid, and we're gonna put new stuff in there. All the coolant, all the fluids that need to be drained, we're gonna drain them. This one here, we're not gonna drain. I'm just gonna feed it through this hole, and I loosened everything on the back end, so it should be totally fine. So guys, let's go ahead and do that, and that's literally the last thing, is pull the radiator out, and then this thing is completely loose. And we're gonna pull all this off. Moment of truth. Well, dang, that looks scary. So this right here is actually the new core support that we bought from the dealer. This is brand new. Unfortunately, we have one little broken headlight tab here, which will be repaired. I'm gonna put a little L bracket out of a piece of metal, and it'll be perfectly fine. Although there's a headlight screws on here, here, and then up front, I think there's another tab. But anyways, that's besides the point. That's gonna be later on. Right now, what we gotta do is actually just kind of get a rough guesstimate and see what the heck is going on over here. As you guys can see here, we made the bolts nice and flush, so all these holes are lined up. If I'm not just about right there, that's good. And here we have, boom, our damaged area. I'm not too worried about the aluminum strut tower right now, because I don't think it's gonna get damaged when we pull this out, because realistically speaking, this needs to come out just about maybe an inch out and then up. So we're gonna go ahead and strap the car now and give it that first official yank. And then I think in episode 2, once we get all the structural stuff proper, in episode 2, what we're gonna do is tear this stuff apart, whatever needs to be torn apart, and make it pretty, seam sealed up, and looking back to OEM. So let's go ahead and get the car strapped up and give it that pull. We are officially ready to do our first pull, and I think this is kind of the best alternative we have so far. This is a really thick piece of steel, and then I drilled out holes to match up these 3 holes exactly where the core support actually bolts onto. Yes, correct, there's 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a pull. I'm gonna work with it very slowly, just see how the metal is acting, see how things are working. And the reason why I'm pulling that way and up simultaneously is because the strut tower is pushed in, well, not the apron is pushed in and damaged that way. So I want to do this in one solid motion, that way I don't have to pull it, for example, out and then up, you know. But up is easier than down in my opinion, because we can just get a jack from under and pump this thing up if we need to go up. down is gonna be very hard. But our goal is to get all these crinkles out and see how things look. Let's go ahead and start giving it a pull and keep you guys updated. So just kind of did a little bit, tensioned up the chain and a little too high, so I'm gonna drop this one more down. Like so. Feel like that's gonna be more of an ideal pull. I don't want it to pull awkwardly, meaning like I don't want it to put all the tension on this bolt here because it's gonna be going up. So it's just gonna rip me a bigger hole here, or not a bigger hole, it's gonna rip me a hole here, which is not good. So I need this to pull simultaneously and kind of work its way out, rather than putting tension into one spot and making myself do more work and damaging parts. Yes, guys, I am so excited to tell you guys that we are basically done doing the major pulling. Although I didn't fact check everything just yet, I didn't proof everything by making this a perfect square, but we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do that off camera, make sure everything's nice and square, and if it's not, then we're gonna do some minor pulling in the next episode. But I want to tell you guys that basically in the beginning of the episode, I told you guys that we're gonna do all the major pulling and then making things look pretty. We're gonna do in the next episode, because all this stuff here is still pretty crinkled up, but I believe so that we are pretty structurally straight. I'm gonna measure the strut tower, guys, don't worry about that, and I'm gonna measure to make sure this core support fits perfect. But if you guys saw in the beginning of the episode, this was completely off. The bolts wouldn't line up whatsoever, and it was super low as well. We got everything straightened out. We need to make this go just a tiny bit higher, which is pretty flimsy, so I can do that. And as you guys can see, I already threaded a bolt right here, and I can thread a bolt here too. This bolt is kind of stripped, but I can thread a bolt right there, and then I can thread a bolt right here as well. So all the bolts fit. Very happy about that, although we did do a little bit of damage here on this panel, but I'm gonna order this from the dealer. Once that comes in, we're gonna get all this stuff fixed structurally. And then you guys probably saw the cracks and, you know, the little buckles here. So take a look at this piece here. You know, it looks really ugly. I'm gonna go ahead and try ordering just this outside skin, because it seems like I can replace it, get up under this cowl, replace this piece here, and then I'm gonna try ordering this piece as well, because I have full-on access to it as well. So once all those will be replaced, seam sealed up, it'll look really darn good. But for now, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching till the very end. I appreciate all the support, and honestly, I appreciate that you guys are watching these videos to the very end. I see the view retention has gone up incredibly a lot, and maybe it is the quality of content, and I love creating quality content for you guys. That way you guys can enjoy something on your guys' time off from work or something. I don't know, anytime you guys watch the videos. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you guys once again so much. Don't forget to smash that like button to show your support. Don't forget to cop yourself some merch if you guys would like to support even further, and don't forget to subscribe. Peace out, boys.